Hi everyone, welcome back. I was looking at the lesson for today, and one of those amazing things in your spiritual journey, in your transformation from time to eternity, is that you're looking for what is already yours in truth, right? You're looking to become what you are already, right? You're looking for the joy, you're looking for happiness, you're looking for peace, right? But that was given to you in creation, right? That was given to you as what you are in truth. Today's lesson addresses that so beautifully because obviously what was given to you by God you cannot lose, right? That's impossible, right? You cannot lose what was given to you by God. That is given to you because that's what you are. You cannot lose that. But apparently you can if you deny it. You can't lose it, but you can lose the experience of it by denying your own identity. I guess that's as good as I can express it, I guess. Right? Having denied your own identity, you no longer experience the peace of God. You no longer experience joy without opposite, right? You're no longer happy all the time. But it hasn't gone anywhere. Ideas leave not their source. It's what you are. However, having denied your own identity, now you have to kind of remember who you are, right? And as we as we have discussed before, at some point in your sojourn into in your detour into fear, your sojourn into time, right? You were going to remember, even if it's just a little bit of your true inheritance, right? Your source, what you truly are. Call it the forgotten song, call it whatever you like, right? But you would remember at some point. And what is so beautiful in today's lesson is he's going to tell you, and this is lesson 104 in our workbook of A Course in Miracles. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. That you're looking for what is already yours, as crazy as that may sound. It doesn't it? It does sound crazy. Well, if I have it already, how can it be that I'm looking for it? Well, how is it that that's not my experience? Well, again, right? Um, Having denied your own identity, now you have to kind of accept again what you are, right? Let your mind be corrected. Get rid of all the false ideas and convictions and beliefs that have led to this, and instead accept the truth. It's so beautiful. It says today's idea continues with the thought that joy and peace are not but idle dreams, right? They're not. Everyone in the world seems to look for joy and peace, and no one seems to be able to find it, right? But they're very attainable. Huh? It says they are your right because of what you are. They come to you from God who cannot fail to give what he wills. But here's the key line. Yet must there be a place made ready to receive his gifts, right? Finding yourself here, right, in this particular human condition, having denied who you are, now you have to learn to accept again what you are. And it starts with making a place vacant within your mind, right, where God can enter, where truth can enter. And that starts with mind training. That starts with a correction. And that starts with a remembering, right? That's how that works, right? And once you do that, right, once you allow yourself to remember, once you vacate a place, right, where the light can enter, where the memory of God can enter, literally it's a vacant place in your mind. You're not going to fill it up with your own illusions, right? That's when you remember that when you'll see that what you were looking for was already yours. It hadn't gone anywhere. It couldn't possibly go anywhere. But you just had to uncover it underneath all the illusions that you've cluttered up your mind with. Beautiful. His are the gifts that we inherited before time was, and they will still be ours when time is passed into eternity. His are the gifts that are within us now, for they are timeless. They don't depend on time, right? Before time was and after time is over. You are that, right? In truth. So now we remember. We remember today that what we've been given by our Father, right, by Source, by God, right, is still ours, right? I just need to ask for it. I need to be willing to be wrong. I need to be willing to let go of all my thoughts and ideas and convictions and beliefs and concepts about what it is that I think I am and what the world is, and instead let the miracle, which we know is a correction, intercede between my thoughts so that something else can occur. I've talked in other videos, right, about the mind training of A Course in Miracles. It's a shift in mindset. It's a shift in thinking, right? Or it's a shift from not thinking to thinking, or thinking within your own conceptual self, which is, not really thinking, to thinking with the universe, however you want to express that, right? But it's that shift in mindset that makes that memory possible. Beautiful. This is a great lesson. And basically, in this lesson, he tells us get rid of the gifts of the world. As long as you still looking for goals in this world, have dreams, have things that you want to accomplish in this world, that's how long it will take before you can even accomplish what the Course wants you to accomplish, right? If you keep seeking for illusions, truth cannot enter, right? Oh, I want this, and I want this for the future, and I want this for the future. Well, yeah, but first of all, you have no control over what's going to happen in the future. And secondly, it's not real. Right? And as long as the mind keeps looking for illusions, truth cannot answer, right? You have to be kind of done. Is it like, I'm done with the gifts of this world. I know they only cause me pain, disappointment. Huh? That's what they've always caused me. So how would that not be any different, right? I love how he says, somewhere in the text, he says something like, well, you can reach for 1,000 goals and you can reach for 1,000 more. But if you really look at it, all they've ever given you here is pain and disappointment. How would that not be different for whatever new goals you set for yourself? Maybe you think you want to spend another 10,000 years doing that. But look at it. All this world has ever done is disappoint you, right? And you're going to get old, and you're going to get sick, and you're going to die. How about a new outcome, but now a true outcome, right? A true outcome. There is such a thing as truth, right? God, reality, right? How about setting that as a goal? So this is a great lesson. If you get a moment today, practice this lesson 104 in our workbook. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Tomorrow's lesson is a great lesson. God's peace and joy are mine. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. What am I seeking for? God's peace and joy. They are yours already, right? They are yours in truth already. They have been given you, right? And what he says so beautiful in here is, they are not like the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gifts, right? The truly given gift entails no loss. And what he basically is saying here is that in order to receive, you have to give, which is the opposite of the world. If you give something away in the world, you lose it, right? But if you give the truth, you gain, right? Because giving is an idea. If you give an idea, you're strengthening yourself, right? So giving and receiving are one, right? But that doesn't seem to be so for the world, right? So no, giving and receiving are one in truth, right? In order to receive, you have to learn how to give again. And so far, giving has always been associated with loss, right? If I give something tangible to someone, right, I lose it because I no longer have it in my possession. But that's not giving. No, giving is the idea of giving yourself away, forgiving, right? I love that. It's beautiful how he expresses this. Let me see. It says, a major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. How can I receive? Give it. Well, giving is associated with fear in this world, so you stop giving. No, no. Give everything away, right? And come with holy empty hands unto God, as he so beautifully says it in the text. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lesson. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited. Eternity to timelessness. And love unto itself. It's beautiful because once you have had that experience, you know exactly what this means. But if you haven't, this really sounds beautiful, but it might not necessarily mean a whole lot to you. Huh? It adds to all that is already complete. Not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds to letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it for itself. Give it away so you can keep it. How do you know you're not going to lose it? Give it away. That's, again, that's that shift in thinking that this course is trying to set about, right? You're always concerned about giving. Well, if I give it away, I lose it. No, if you give it away, that's the only way to keep it. But this course is talking about ideas. This is talking about truth, you know, right? Because in truth, all you do is give because God only gives. So you only give. And what do you give? To yourself. Well, to extent, because love cannot be contained. It has to be given away. Don't worry if this all sounds a little too much or you kind of go like, well, I just kind of lost you there. But truly, truly, again, that is that shift that we're trying to bring about. Huh? Beautiful. And then he says, if anyone you meet today, my brother, say to him, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Right? Instead of condemning the guy that you're going to meet on the street today, bless him. Do it out loud or do it quietly in your mind. It truly doesn't matter. Right? But in your mind, as an action of mind, right? Bless him. Because by blessing him, by offering him peace and joy, you're going to keep it. It is so fundamental, isn't it? But it is the opposite of the thinking of the world, right? It is, again, you're learning to think in an entirely new way. So that's what I wanted to come today for a moment and join with you in that idea of I seek with what belongs to me in truth, right? What's the line? Give everything you value by the protect everything you value by the act of giving it away. One of those lines in the Course in Miracles that whenever we try to teach that, you know, it's a hard thing to teach because it just requires a new way of thinking. Protect everything you value by the act of giving it away. It's that simple. A Course in Miracles discourse in mind training to an entirely new way of thinking is what brings about that spiritual transformation, is what brings about the joy and the peace that you've been looking for. You're not going to find it here because it's not here, because this is not a real place. You're not going to find joy and peace in illusions. The illusions cannot satisfy God's Son. You're going to have to find it within your mind, and you're going to have to change your mind. You're going to have to allow that, right, to come into a place that you have prepared, right, that you're willing to open for truth, and you're willing to be wrong, and you're willing to go step back and say, hey, I'm no longer going to assert myself in thinking that I know what's best for myself, because surely by now I've discovered that I do not know what's in my own best interest, right? I'm always wrong, right? But the thing that thought I was going to make me happy, once I have it, it's still not making me happy, right? I still feel this emptiness inside of me. I still feel this, I have this voice in the back of my head that says, that's not it, right? Ask anyone, you know, rich or poor, right? Often the rich are, what the world calls rich, are even more miserable than the poor. They got more of nothing, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about truth. We're talking about real, real stuff, reality, right? Thought, joy, peace, right? All the good stuff. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great, great day. And I'll see you real soon.